They got me feeling like I'm Akademiks. Can't ride no way.
What was I gonna talk about? We gotta talk about this Iggy thing too. Okay. I'll talk about this. So, Killer Mike won the Grammy for like best rap album or whatever the case is, and Kai Cenat infamously responded by saying, "Yo, he didn't know who Killer Mike was, and he thought that Travis Scott, Utopia, should have won." Okay, Joe Budden on his podcast, the Joe Budden podcast, actually responded to that, and he had a couple interesting words for people who are streamers. Here we go.
But yeah, it's a.
By the way, let me recap a little bit. So these comments were actually after Kai responded, or Kai said something about by the way, it all goes in tandem. So also the Grammys happened. Joe spoke about Travis Scott and Playboi Carti, which I thought it was funny, but I thought it was definitely unfair. I think Joe is getting back to the era of, I don't know if I ever told y'all this. I know a lot of y'all loved Everyday Struggle. For the last like 2 years, not including this year, but like there was a 2-year period after Joe left. Remember, he stopped. We did it in 2017. He never did it since, right? It's 5 years later, right? I told him this on podcast. I said, I know a lot of people love the show, but us doing a show again, I think you're an amazing personality. I think I do my thing, but it wouldn't have the same essence because there was a thing about that. You were the quote-unquote old grumpy guy, and I was like representing all the new people, right? And I was like the guy who was more giving them a chance, so where you weren't. There was a time that Joe didn't give, like he stopped even, people would call him a hater. He would just stop caring to even give an opinion that would be derogatory of even the newer dudes. And I told Joe, I said, you finally got what you wanted out of this. Nigga, you got rich, like hella rich off of podcasting. So you stopped being mad at rappers who didn't know how to rap, in your opinion. You just started seeing that, whatever. I'm getting my money over here, fuck it. Because before, I personally thought that Joe's discomfort with even like, say, talking about Yachty was like, Yachty signed a $13 million contract. He can't rap. Like, that's what Joe's thinking, right? He can't rap. This guy barely sounds coherent. Like, what the fuck is going on? And that fueled a lot of animosity. And I don't want to call it jealousy or hatred, but it was just like, that's what fueled the opinion that clashed with mine because I love these guys. Once Joe got rich, I was like, Joe stopped caring. Like, he stopped caring about those things. I think Joe's getting it back, but I think it's for streamers now. So Joe is the person I feel like his disdain now is coming for more streamers and more people. I won't say necessarily artists, but more people who are obsessed with this TikTok streaming era. So I ain't gonna lie, I haven't seen him give takes like this in a while. Joe called out Travis Scott and Playboi Carti for performing at the I miss this, Joe, by the way. Joe, if you're watching this, I miss this version of you. I miss this version of you where you were like, you had an opinion, and yeah, it's fine. Like, here's the thing. It's what people don't understand is that to be a top personality in this game, you can't be the guy who's cool with everything. You have to have an opinion. Okay? And Joe's opinion was that, hey, some of this shit is garbage. And do I agree with him on this take? No. But this is Joe with a take. You get what I mean? This is why Everyday Struggle was great. Because he had a take. And a lot of Everyday Struggle and the greatness came from his take being counterculture, counter opposite to what was popular with the kids. And yeah, it's just kind of weird. I don't want to say ugly headed because I think this is brilliant.
I'm not gonna hold you. Look. He's trying to get at you. Wait.
By the way, I went to Travis Scott concert. He legit performed this 13 times in a row. I couldn't fucking believe it. I couldn't believe it, bro. Yo, I remember posting like, yo, Kanye and Jay-Z did Niggas in Paris 8 times. And I'm like, is there really concerts where niggas do the same song mad times? Bro, I was in the box suites of motherfucking Prudential Center watching Travis Scott perform. And I swear, every time you thought, woo, we're finally done with Fiend. Let's go hear the next song. Maybe it's Antidote. He was like, like, nigga, he did this shit for 30 minutes. I ain't gonna lie, this shit is crazy. If you've been to Travis, by the way, I'm not gonna lie though, here's the crazy part about it. Travis Scott is such a great performer. Him performing the same song 13 times is like, every single time you're like, oh my God, this is like, it doesn't feel, it feels different. I'm gonna be honest with you. But still, like, yeah, they perform Fiend mad times.
Then you bring your man out. This is how I knew I was in the fucking Matrix. You bring your man out, Playboy Card. What the fuck is Travis and his...
By the way, this is how you know Joe's old. South by Southwest is over, my nigga. You should say like Rolling Loud. South by Southwest, like nobody talks about South by Southwest.
You both, nigga.
He does have a point there. Like there's a place for Fiend, right? There is a place for Fiend, which I think some artists will find offensive because they feel like a song Fiend it does deserve to be on the Grammy stage, but I think the Grammy is kind of determine a different type of etiquette. Anyway, let me see if I could find the origin of the comments because I think I did post Kai Cenat responding to him. All right, here we go. No. He said something about Kai, and Kai did respond. Where the fuck? Why can't I find my clips these days?
Yeah, game over, bro.
Okay, no. I'm just gonna. All right, here we go. This is what Kai Cenat said.
Killer Mike just swept the rap categories at the Grammys, but fans weren't too happy. Specifically, Travis Scott fans, who thought Utopia should have won.
I don't know who you are. Positivity, you. Praying for you, bro. Positivity out the window. Who decided this motherfucker?
Now this is basically a new generation versus old.
Okay, so he basically said that, yo, he didn't know much about Killer Mike. He was like, how the hell did he win, right? Essentially, you get Joe Budden, who then responds by saying this about Kai Cenat's opinion.
Quieting down. Seems like we've got to...
But let me just stop Joe in his tracks. Joe, this is, whatever you're saying here is full cap. It's full cap. And I'm going to put the history and the dichotomy of what's going on these days into perspective. I told y'all this before. The industry is moving off what streamers are saying. I told y'all, like, hey, when y'all talk about me and be like, Ak, why you been here for 13, well, how long? 15 years? I don't know how long at this point. But when y'all give me credit, y'all should give me credit for reading the game. I still see people trying to make new If you're in 2024 trying to make like a new hot podcast and you don't have a big name, you're fucking losing. Go get on a motherfucking stream and go live stream. That's a fact. This is what's going to happen. I've told everybody. I've told my peers in live streaming too. I think I know where the next is after live streaming, unless it extends beyond the period. Podcast had a 4-year run, 4 to 5 year run. Okay? So, let's be clear. From about 2019 to 2023, let's say 2018. 2018 to 2023 was the podcast era. From 2023, and I believe it won't be that long. I think it's going to go till 2026 or 27. We're in the streaming era. Now, here's the breakdown I'm telling you. I run a media company. I'm being very transparent. When I shit on people like Carisha, like, did y'all know, like, I was talking shit about Carisha. You know they paid me for JT's song, right? Like her new song, right? Which is solo, right? Like, I could tell y'all this because I'm that nigga. I'm sorry. Like, I don't have to keep this hidden. I'm still going to get paid. That's my biggest gift. I figured out all this shit in terms of marketing. Right? And by the way, I love you, JT. I got no problems with you. I only got problems with the other girl. But she not your song, so it's all good. Love your song. Actually, I don't. But, you know, it was a good song. Decent song. Yeah. Whatever. Anyway, here's the point I'm trying to say. As I run a media company, you remember when I used to beef with Adam? I felt like Adam was like a fraud, like facetious. Now, I kind of fell back off that. I'm like, maybe he really is just that naive, but he's white. Like, white people be on their bread. I peep everything. I've ran a media company successfully, and whether you want to, like, yes, all money through rap comes through me. I'm in somebody's marketing plan. I don't give a fuck who it is, unless I'm like clearly beefing with them. Like, for example, who just popped up with Glorilla just popped up with a campaign. I could tell they told the label, don't send it to Act, which I appreciate too. It's cool. Here's the thing, and I'm telling you this because this is astute observations. Listen, I'm telling you this is facts. I watched labels try to leverage podcast for 4 to 5 years. They don't do it no more. I'm telling you, this is a nigga who's literally in everybody's pockets. They don't do it no more. I have a post in my phone. This is from 15 minutes ago. 15 minutes ago, what does it say? Matter of fact, I'm gonna show you how real I am. I don't give two fucks. Actually, no, because I don't want this person to feel this type of way. Y'all gonna be like, yo, so this wasn't real? Like, no. The labels 80% of the time send me Kai Cenat posts. I told Kai that. They don't send me podcast posts no more. Let me break it down another level. Labels and the music industry try to look to the influential people of reacting, of co-signing, of whatever their acts, and they spend money marketing those clips. Hey, this popular guy who y'all care about likes our artist. Spread it to everybody that their dick riders will like that artist. There was a time that they would do that about podcasts. Oh, hey, Joe Budden says he likes this. This podcast fucks with this. This other podcast does this or has. They don't do it no more. This is why I'm telling you, the industry, like, I'm not saying that successful podcasts, like, for example, Joe Budden podcast isn't noteworthy anymore. I'm just telling you the industry is past focusing on them. They're only focusing on streamers right now. It's a fact. I'm telling you this because not only am I a streamer and a podcaster. That's why I'll be like, yo, I don't be mad about none of this shit. I'm a podcaster and a streamer, but the biggest thing I've always said is I own my own media company. And if niggas want to promote, come through me, bro. That's it. Because things come and go, the platform never changes. They used to go through podcasts. As of the last year, 80 to 90% of post looks, if we're talking about, like, I sit on the phone with a lot of these motherfuckers. Okay, so-and-so, I'm not going to name these artists. I don't want to embarrass them because they might think it's embarrassing. To me, it's not. To me, it's just bringing down the veil that y'all can see what the fuck is going on in the industry. I don't think it's embarrassing. Hey, we're dropping this project on this date. We want to promote it. We got this single out. We're going to do this. We're going to do Jimmy Fallon on this. We're going to do this. Hey, we're getting the cover of this magazine, blah, blah, blah. But we also want to get it lit. That's the term. We want to get it lit. Okay. We're trying to get Kai to react to it. That's what they all tell me now. Before they used to tell me, hey, we're going to have this person go on this podcast. They don't say that no more. It's all about streamers. So this is why I got to stop Jonas' tracks, because the music industry you're talking about is now, and I'm the nigga who's a direct recipient of people trying to market shit. They're not trying to market through podcast. Matter of fact, I will give y'all a new update about all podcasts, is that labels, the only podcast they're trying to send their niggas to, with all due respect, is Shannon Sharp. Just to let everybody know. You know who they're trying to send? Fuck podcasts. You know who they're all trying to send their artists to? Kai Adin. that has told me that despite what Joe is saying, it's not true. Because you could think, because maybe he's thinking on a he's thinking on a what's the dopest, and he's actually thinking on a cultural level where you're actually evaluating talent and you're evaluating skill and evaluating art. The music industry has never been about evaluating art, and Joe knows this. It's always been about how we could get more money. The music industry right now are indubitably tied to all streamers. Facts. I've heard, and this is a fact, a record label was down to pay $200,000 to get a particular artist on a stream. That never... Listen, I've heard all money conversations for artists on podcasts. It ain't never been that. So when Joe says that Kai and Adin, the top of the streaming world, don't matter, he tweaking. He don't matter maybe to your opinion, but he matters to the industry that you're talking about. The industry you're talking about is eating, literally at the feet of those two boys. They're at the feet of streamers. That's the fact. I'm telling y'all, listen, I'm not telling y'all some shit I made up. I'm telling y'all objective facts. Now, granted, this is why Joe is Joe. Because when Joe speaks about music, it's not only monetarily. He's speaking it from a passion perspective. He's speaking it from a knowledge base, someone who is an historian. And I think that's why he probably looks at whether it's a Kai or a Speed or a Adin and probably say, who the fuck gives a fuck about your opinion? Okay, I get that. But these people absolutely matter because the music industry is molded and folded into them. Okay? Okay. Let me keep playing this clip. Okay. And again, I think the conversation needs to be had here with even someone like Joe. Let's ask Joe about his own career. If we were supposed to sum up your career, would you want the accolades or would you want the money? Or would you want both? Here's the reality of it. Killer Mike's sales has soared through the roof since he won this award. But Killer Mike didn't came out doing 300,000 records first week. Killer Mike didn't do 200,000, definitely not 100,000. The people who go on Kai Cenat stream, what their goal is to do those hundreds of thousands. So what is winning to you? Is it getting a trophy that a lot of artists, including Wayne and Drake, has pissed on? Is it like we've seen Kanye use it as a doorstop, or some other artists, I can't remember who. We've seen Jay-Z basically do whatever with it as well. Is it just being awarded the award, but not getting the monetary value of the attention? That's the thing about when obviously we're talking about the Grammys here, but when you say, hey, he got awarded or he won without fucking with a streamer, nobody, let me not say nobody. The majority of people didn't know he had an album out. If your art ain't being consumed by the masses, yeah, great. You got a nice little award on your a Grammy doesn't mean anything. You can't sell that shit for $10,000. It's a fucking trophy. You can go make a trophy. So the point here is the only true win is if you're at the top of your game and you're being consumed by the most people and you're also being awarded as the best. So I don't think Killer Mike won. Yes, he won the award, but if he won, the masses would enjoy his music. So when you say he did this without going on these guys who stream, no, the goal should be, I think Nicki did a great job. Nicki put out a body of work that was good, but she also did a great job marketing it. I can't celebrate an artist who think that he won, but his album ain't sell shit. How does that work? You don't get $1 million for winning a Grammy. This ain't the NBA. In the NFL, right? Everybody who went to Super Bowl get like $500,000, right? I don't know if y'all know this. That don't happen when it comes to the Grammys. You don't get shit. It's supposed to be a look. So again, I can't say that Killer Mike is winning necessarily because no one knows, and I'm not saying this on my behalf, I'm saying this as Joe is explaining. If nobody knows about his art and he gets awarded a trophy, how the fuck did he win? Because I could make up an award show and I could say random bum ass niggas won too. I'm not saying that Killer Mike is a bum. Do you understand what I'm saying?
But niggas is getting dressed and bringing women out tonight. All you fucking incels.
And the bass player.
Now, again, and this is why my opinion on this is very like layered. I think Joe has a point about, you know, art being elevated a bit, right? Hey, not because you make music that's primarily geared for the rolling loud grounds mean you shouldn't elevate your art or mean you shouldn't try to get to a different level that it could be seen and accoladed as different. Like, I agree with that too. But I wouldn't shit on somebody just because they got a song like Fiend. Like, Fiend's an amazing song.
Yeah.
Shallowest.
Yeah.
Listen to this.
All right.
Mood music. You're clear to Joe fans. It shows proof that artists went on Kai's stream and his album sales increased compared to their previous albums. Show the statistics. Now, mood music, that's a great, like, I wish I could put this comment up on the screen. You're saying you want me to show you stats. Like, I don't have the stats, and I think it would be a label thing. Hey, I'm not telling you that this is true. By the way, didn't I tell you this already? I think what labels don't know how to promote. Again, I think I've been so honest with y'all. I've made a shit ton of money, millions of dollars, not because I'm funny, not because I've done YouTube videos, because I've realized there's a fundamental problem in the industry. People who work at record labels do not understand how to market and promote an artist. So they always outsource, and I always show up. Hey, you want to go get something done? Come holla at Big Act. I'll give you a nice little, let's run through the whole thing. Pay me this amount. I'm here for you. That's how it works, people. I'm not saying that, like, I've said it myself. What labels are doing wrong is that they think that having Offset on Kai's stream for 2 days straight, 48 hours, means that his sales are going to double. Kai Cenat's audience likes primarily what Kai Cenat likes. So when Kai goes back and says, I don't like this, this ain't really it, his audience enjoyed the content, but they're not going to go listen to the music continually. It will be more beneficial. I think all these labels are doing wrong with. If I'm a label, right? And by the way, I'm not claiming that they pay people, but let's say they're going to spend some money on marketing, right? If I had $50,000, right, or let's say $100,000, right, and if I could put my artist on Kai Cenat's stream, right, so I take over Kai Cenat's stream for 6 hours, my artist, whoever that is, or I could give him $100,000 that every time he streams in the next month, he plays my songs and turns up to it. I would pick the second option because it's more important to be the song or have the song that Kai Cenat likes rather than making content with Kai Cenat. How many times have I been on Aiden's stream? How many times has Aiden called me? He be having 80,000 people on Twitch or wherever, now Kick. They don't just immediately be like, oh, now we know about Acro. No, it doesn't happen like that. They love Aiden. That's the thing. How many times have I had people on here? I'm starting the academy, ain't I? Shit. If I'm on live, there's we be having 10 to 20,000 people. I wish that y'all would show up if it's the comment section. Y'all, again, it's not that's transferative. That's the point I've been trying to tell to labels. Y'all think putting somebody on somebody's stream, it automatically works. It does not. If anything, I'm telling all these labels, use these guys as radio stations. Fuck having your artists go over there and play tic-tac-toe and play video games. Just have the streamer play your song every stream. For example, which, by the way, and I'm being transparent, obviously I just like the Burna Boy song. But to be honest, that would, think about how many people liked Burna Boy Last before I started playing it like that. Did all y'all like that song like that? Did all y'all know the words like that? Nigga, I played every fucking stream. Now, I could do an interview with Burna Boy, but would that make y'all a fan of his music? Or would me playing his song every fucking day? That's the thing I've been telling to every fucking label. Now, granted, and just to be very honest, I never got paid. By the way, no, actually, let me be very clear, because I'm very honest. I do. Me and Burna Boy's team, we do have something, but it has nothing to do with stream. It has completely nothing to do with stream. Just to be honest, right? But and I think that only came because they're like, yo, you're like a huge fan of Burna Boy, like you're doing it for the free ski, like shit. Could we expand on some of this shit? I'm like, all right, cool, let's talk about it, right? But yeah, I've been telling all these labels because nigga, like they're retarded. Like what the fuck? Like if you'd pay $200,000 for somebody to be on whoever's stream, bro, their fans ain't about to go stream the whole album. Yo, Ruby Girl says, yo, I love you, Ak, but you would have to stream every day to play the song every day. Yo, you sneak this in. It's crazy. Okay, anyway. So I hope I'm giving you a little bit insight of how some of this stuff is working in the background and also how the labels are moving. Let me tell you, like, again, I'm telling y'all invaluable game. I'm telling y'all this shit, which, to be honest, like, I feel like I'm giving y'all information that probably should be paid for, like, in a sense, right? These days, when it comes to digital marketing, I'm telling you how the allocations is. Again, we're not talking about magazines. We're not talking about billboards. We're not talking about certain hard things that they've always spent money on. I'm talking about like these new media things that I would be involved in, right? Every day, increasingly, they're spending more on TikTok. TikTok campaigns. Let's go get this person to do a dance. Okay, we have a song going, but we needed a pop. Let's pay this popular creator. Maybe make a challenge. They're spending more and more money on TikTok. They're also trying to spend more and more money in terms of streamers, but they're doing it in different ways. Because the thing with a stream, it's really hard to like just have an like. Imagine like your favorite streamer just be like, hey, by the way, if you guys didn't know, Kanye West released Carnival. Make sure you guys go check that out on all your streaming platforms. As a matter of fact, here's a 20 seconds. It was just like, it's hard to do, right? So like with streams, they kind of almost have to find an artist that the person already fucks with. You know what I mean? Instagram is a little bit easier because you can just post whatever. And podcasts, this is how the industry is looking at it. I promise you. They're looking at that people are taking eyeballs off of podcasts and going to streams. That's why I think this is an interesting conversation, because the word is that podcasts are being consumed less and live streamers are being consumed more. Okay? So I don't know if Joe is like this deep with thinking about it, but that's, I'm looking at it from a layered perspective. I'm Big Ak. I do everything, motherfucker. Like, nigga, if DJing come back in style, I got a turntable right there, nigga. Like, I'll be DJing again. Like, nigga, I'm with whatever that's popping. What's good? So, anyway.
Enough, dog.
Yeah.
Business.
Hey, here's the problem with what Joe says. I know for a fact that labels are spending hundreds of thousands to promote, hey, Kai turned up to this song. Aiden turned up to this song. This streamer reacted to this song. And by the way, it's not only streamers, like YouTube reaction channels too. Look, this dude reacted to so-and-so saying he killed 15 people in like a blazing house. That I also know the opposite of it. When those people actually say they don't like something, they pay to suppress those things. Yo, hey, we're not trying to get this viral because it's going to hurt. This is how much they're valuing the opinion of a lot of people who stream or who are YouTube reaction channels or even YouTube reviewers. Do you get what I mean? So when Joe says nobody cares, the industry cares. And I've seen them care. So that's my issue with what he's saying. Anyway, let me see. So, okay. Then there was a then we had Kai reacting to Joe Budden. Was it this? No, I don't think it was it?
This is my opinion.
Okay, where is it at? So Kai reacted to Joe. We're about to find it in a second. Right here.
If I want to voice my opinion, I'm going to voice my opinion. 100%, bro. You feel what I'm saying? And that's some people's problem. Y'all don't ever let the young niggas flourish. The young niggas think Utopia is fire. Let the young niggas think Utopia is fire. You feel me? The reason why shit going so crazy right now and y'all not being able to comprehend shit is because it's just simply a new wave of niggas, bro. It's just simply a new wave of niggas, bro. And that's what it is. Shout out to Killer Mike. You feel what I'm saying?
Also, and again, I feel like I'm like dicing onions here, but like I'm giving like this nuanced perspective because I can see all sides. Joe Budden, like, I listen to everybody. Kai's my nigga. Talk to him on the phone. Joe's my nigga. I talk to him on the phone. If I'm going to Joe, I'm going for hardcore industry insider conversation. I would not go to Kai for that. Like, this is why, like, I'm almost like surprised that this is the thing. Because the reason why I would listen to Joe about a breakdown about something, let's say we all talk about the same topics. Let's say everybody's talking about the Grammys. If I want to hear some breakdown about the art and, you know, the rollouts and, you know, some of like the intricacies of how like a Grammy is usually nominated or awarded, I'm going to go listen to Joe Budden's podcast. They're really in tune with a lot of that. It's an industry insider podcast. If I'm watching Kai Cenat, Kai's a turned lit kid. And let me not say kid because he's a young man. He's 22, I believe. He's going to be feeling how he feels. I wouldn't take Joe's opinion to go against his. No, if you listen to Kai, Kai's going to give you this. And if you're going to listen to Joe, he's going to give you this. You should be able to understand and discern between both of those without thinking that, oh, nah, this person can't speak on it versus the other person. Like, that doesn't make sense to me.
Bro, but look. If I think they should have won that, okay, let it win. Nigga, I'm in my room just talking, bruh. You feel me? It's always the young niggas this, the young niggas that, and you say it don't come off as hating, but bro, that, come on, dude. Come on, brody. I could put up like 20 clips of you doubting every 2016 freshman, my nigga. And look at them boys right now, bro. You feel me? If I want to voice my opinion, I'm going to voice my opinion.
Okay. You could
You got one hit, Joe. Joe, pump it up. Like, you got one hit, though. You feel me? No offense to your career and shit like that. But come on, bro. Be real, bro. Like, shit be crazy, man. Like, bro, just let the young niggas look. From now on, bro, so you don't want it to come off as hate and shit like that. Just let the young niggas flourish, bro, and everything will be all right. Other than that, be amazing. God bless. Have an amazing day.
Okay. All right. And Joe responded again, but Ebro was in tow this time. And this is what their conversation was. I'm saying it. Joe is a music insider podcast. Music insider versus Kai or Adin, who are, hey, listen, this is what me and my friends are turning up to. They're not trying to make themselves aficionados of music. They're not even speaking on the intricacies and the really the stuff that's going on behind the scenes that really matters with what we hear or what we see in terms of like headlines or like sales. They're just kind of like, hey, this is what we like. This is what my friends would like. So those are two different conversations, right? Like with Stephen A. Smith, like argue with someone who doesn't want to watch sports, but like might watch like a game every 6 months or so? No. It is what it is.
Watch your fucking mouth. You ain't never did it at this level.
Now, in this conversation, I hated that Ebro even was a part of it. Ebro, like with all due respect, Ebro notoriously is a hater. Ebro is someone who felt that at the peak of, maybe not the peak of necessarily radio, but he shitted on everybody. He was the guy who said there was the major leagues and the minor leagues. He was the guy who felt that if you weren't on radio, you weren't up to par. I remember trying to get his attention and trying to network with him early on in my career, and he completely shitted on it. You know why? Because he felt he was above it. So watching him go to digital radio, which is Apple Music, and he took a job, which is now controlling, he's a global head of hip hop over at Apple Music. But even then, he sees the conversation that's dictated mostly by podcasts and streamers and people who aren't on radio. I've watched somebody who has made a bet that has completely been wrong, right? So he felt that radio and whatever the fuck he came from was, no. I remember him arguing with 6ix9ine. Like, nobody knows an opinion that Ebro has at this point. Nobody cares about what Ebro thinks. Like, Ebro is on Apple Music, and I don't even think his podcast even ranks amongst the highest of actual music podcasts, and he's contracted to do that still. You get what I mean? It's like Ebro to me is someone who is a old dinosaur who comes across like a hater because he's never been accepting of anything that he wasn't already dominating of.
It will always happen.
About for us.
Okay, and then I'll just both of them in tandem. Y'all problem isn't with Kai Cenat or Adin, because everybody has opinions. Y'all problem is with these rap outlets and these rap blogs, including me. I'm sorry. When Adin says something about a rapper, it gets posted to everywhere. It's discussed by everyone. Y'all be having a whole breakdown about album, and I'm not talking specifically about Joe because, you know, we all respect him. We don't know what Ebro says because, nigga, when's the last time you seen an Ebro? Like, come on, this is the first time like years, right? What I'm trying to say is that y'all problem isn't with the streamers or whoever who's saying it. Y'all problem is with the platforms that, in reality, they're just posting what people are reacting to. These days, people want to know if Kai fuck with every song. People want to know if Adin collab with any rapper or whatever he did with Cardi. Y'all be having a whole breakdown on hip-hop and nobody cares. In terms of, I'm not saying not y'all audience cares, but nobody, it's not making headline news. Y'all saying a song is good, it hits different versus Kai saying it. And unfortunately, this is the era we're in where it's more about necessarily popularity than actual, expertise, if you want to call it that. Just is what it is.
For a second.
You ain't never did it at this level.
Okay. All right. Enough of that. Oh, I got to play Adin. Adin jumped to the mix.
There's no world, for me, the hip-hop I'm coming from, there's no world where me and Adin Ross need to talk about something.
So why bring me up, bro? Why bring me up? Why bring me up? And then now that I say something about you, why? You know what I mean? Like, it makes no sense. How does that make any sense? Y'all putting the cap, y'all are laughing, but think about it, bro. Why are you bringing me up? I respond, and now you're saying there's no reason for him and I to be in a conversation.
I agree with that. I agree with that. They did that to me for years. They used to say, and I'm not talking about Joe. Joe's my guy. I'm talking about in general. You would hear people say, why does Akademiks have a platform while they discuss my opinions? Why are we talking about what Akademiks thinks? And it was almost it was them admitting that my opinion does matter because it's actually warranted a response from you, but you didn't want to give me the respect of saying my opinion matters. Like I said that to my son a lot of times. He would do mad reactions to what I'm saying. I think I invited a young brother to have conversations with me. You know what he said? I wouldn't have a conversation with Akademiks. Why would I? What's the need? I remember the same thing with Meek Mill. I was trying to talk to Meek Mill for years before 21 Savage put us together. You know what he said? Why I need to talk about him? Well, if you're not talking about him, but then you're not talking to, if you don't want to talk to him, but you're then talking about him or ranting about him or saying whatever, like, yeah, it defeats the purpose, if you ask me, right?
What's the point of doing that? So if you're saying there's no point for us to talk about, what's the point of you bringing me up? What do you want to gain out of it? You want to gain something out of it, clearly. Is your podcast doing that bad? Your numbers are that bad? You need me to react to it? You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to figure out the motive. What do you want out of this,
Podcast is
bro?
doing bad.
Damn, nothing just works out for you, bro. Your rap career failed. Your podcast is clearly failing.
No, it's not.
There's no world for me, the hip hop I'm coming from. There's no world where me and Adin Ross need to talk about something.
Okay, all right. I think we have pretty much exhausted this whole little back and forth right here. There was another clip where Adin Ross basically challenged Joe Budden to a race to 100 million, which, whatever you want to think about it. I mean, in reality, like, with all due respect to streamers, bro, no, all due respect to podcasters, I've had a podcast deal and a streaming deal, and I'm here to tell you, well, actually, you do more work for streaming, but streaming pays more. Come on, stop playing. Like, you know, there is some crazy value in having a certain set amount of people watching you like a channel live. Not like, okay, you got 1 million views, but they watched at different times during a whole year. No. You have 60,000 people watching you constantly. Yeah, it's a little bit more valuable than what I think people used to say the same thing about podcasts, though. They used to say podcasts are invaluable because, like, it was long conversations and where do you put the ads and blah, blah, blah. But then they found that it was valuable. What I will say about streaming, that's like the next echelon where people want to, like, an advertiser wants to deliver their message to people who are receiving it in real time, not like, you know, VODs and whatever. And by the way, streams turn to VODs, if you ask me. But if the conversation is about streaming versus podcasting, it's not even close. Yeah, you have one Joe Rogan. Like, you have one Joe Rogan. I know 5 streamers who got $100 million deal. Like, only Joe Rogan got $100 million deal when it came to podcasting. I know 5 streamers who got $100 million deal. And by the way, in all those niggas who got the $100 million deals, it averages, like, they'll get $1 million before 2 years. I know 5. Is it 5? No, it's not 5. It's not 5. It's a little bit less. It's not less. It's less. But what I'm saying is that we only have Joe Rogan. Like, Joe Rogan's obviously, which, by the way, Joe Rogan's bigger than everybody. But there's just way more streamers that's not even close to being household names, right? Like, it's not even close. You know what I mean? Like, I just don't want to, because I talk to some of these people in private and they reveal whatever they got going on. I don't want to be the person who's like, yo, he's getting this amount. I met with a streamer, that nigga told me he was getting, over the span of 3 years, he was getting $250 million. Nigga, I nearly fainted. Gang. But it's all good. All right, let me see. Wow, why did I move off that thing? Fuck. What I really wanted to play afterwards or showcase, can I find it again, please? Where is it at? Y'all know who I'm talking about? Somebody said, nah, what the fuck? Pull like this, chat. Y'all know I'm not big. I don't even think I'm a top 10. I don't even think I'm a top 20 streamer. I don't even, like, top 50? Like, that's the point I'm trying to say. A top 50 streamer is like, I don't think I am. Who knows? Nigga, I was nicely compensated. I'm good. what the top 20 are getting, disgusting. It doesn't make sense. And I just haven't seen top podcasters get that. But also, you could probably like negate what I'm saying by saying I don't think all top podcasters are going for deals though.